welcome to Blockbuster Bombs. Kick back your recliner, crack open a beer, and let's talk movies. And today, we're here to talk about Episode 5 of Band of Brothers, Crossroads, which is a great episode if you ask me. But the four of us are back, the four of us regulars here for Band of Brothers, and I don't think I have anything else to go over, so we can get started here. Tom, what did you think of your rewatch of Crossroads?
I was amped from it from the start. Just because it just starts off him, just Winters running right up toward the top of the hill and all, and just face-to-face German soldier in this firefight from there. I think it sets a good pace of the episode, and I liked how they tell the story of pretty much Winters has to give a report, and then they flash back to what he's reporting on. I really like that version of storytelling. So I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
Yeah. AJ, what did you think your rewatch?
Honestly, this is a great episode, but before I rewatched it, the prominent things that happened in this episode, I remembered happening in other episodes. I thought some of it took place in the previous episode at Market Garden, and there were some things I thought took place in some of the future episodes. So, it was... When I first started, I'm like, what even happens in this episode? And then as I was getting into it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a great episode.
As far as war fighting goes, it can be kind of a forgettable episode because it's more about mindset and what Winters is going through and things like that.
It does it very well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ray, what did you think of your watch of Crossroads?
Well, I enjoyed the rewatch. Nice pacing, good build up to continue the story with Winters. Promotion, action-packed, and then a nice hard stop at the end to go into the next episode. So, yeah, really good episode.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a bunch of time talking because I kind of disagree with a lot of what you guys said. Very good, solid episode. I like what they do with Winters. I like how they're setting things up for the future episodes, which are, some of my favorites. So, yeah. Let's get started, and I think there's no other place to start than the best part of the whole episode, if you ask me, is with Winters throwing Nixon's piss on him.
Yeah. At first, I didn't think it was a piss. At first, until he says it out loud, I was like, "Oh, it's just beer from the night before or something." I'm like, "Oh yeah, plumbing would be an issue back then, huh?" Yeah, that's rough. I don't know if I'd want. Toss probably wouldn't want it next to my bed all night though.
Yeah,
it probably smelled like his whiskey, so I guess he got over that real quick.
Well, and right before he does it, he tells them, "Hey, we've got to be at headquarters in 10 minutes." So there wasn't a lot of cleanup time afterwards.
Yeah, at that point in time, I don't think anybody cared a whole lot.
And I did listen to the podcast where they asked the actors, about this specific scene, and this is something that Winters said actually happened. He actually did this to Nixon. So
that's hilarious.
So they wanted to include it because they thought it was hilarious. So
that's even better that they all. I like it even more that everybody enjoyed the joke then. Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there probably was a lot of funny things that happened between these guys that probably didn't make it into the show because they didn't have enough time.
There's probably some super inappropriate stuff that probably shouldn't be put into the episode.
Yeah, that's also very true.
But no, I did not feel envious though of Winters when he was in that meeting.
No.
When they actually showed up there and all, to where it's basically just dude, where the fuck are your reports at and all? They're just I'll get my homework turned in. All right.
Well, they pretty much kept him standing in the corner while they talked to everybody else, and then turned, and then it was like, Winters, you're fucking up. So yeah, interesting little way to. And we hadn't seen much of Sync lately, so it was almost a reintroduction to him. And then we move after that meeting, we move very, very quickly into the assault on to the machine gun nest, which they think is just a machine gun nest, which turns out to be a lot more than just a machine gun nest.
Yeah.
Yes. Not just two companies of SS.
Yeah.
So very, very serious business. But at the time, they think they're just going there to assault a machine gun nest that has shot. Somebody's been shot. I can't remember who off the top of my head. I have it written on the other side of my paper.
And hold on, before we go forward, because I'm not up on my German army rank and stuff like that. What is the difference between German soldiers, SS, and I guess the Nazi and the Gestapo?
I mean, I'm not an expert, but I believe SS was like a political army.
Yeah,
Like the
you're-
Nazi Party had its
you're
own
pretty
little
much, you're pretty much
paramilitary.
Okay.
yeah, you're the private military to Hitler, because that's what the whole
Yeah.
SS was. Like, what was that turd's name? He never was a general or had any military background. So what the Nazis did was they actually took symbols from like a bunch of religions and shit like that and created that. And like originally the S by itself is a symbol in some other religion or whatnot, and he just doubled that. But yeah, like the shock troopers and all that, like he basically just decorated himself because he had no military honor, and that was the big running
then-
joke at the time in the world, is that like all other generals would meet, and here's this guy dressed up in his own pretty much costume.
Oh, okay.
But then there were also Waffen SS, which were serious soldiers. They were like elite troops.
Okay.
But they were very loyal to the Nazi Party, whereas regular army troops weren't
Yeah,
necessarily.
you're-
They could have just been
you're-
drafted.
Yeah, you're
you
pretty
know.
much private to the.
Yeah.
Think of it like you're almost like a private government organization to Hitler and the Nazi Party,
Okay.
is what it was. Yeah, it's like you're separate from the army itself. Like, yeah.
Okay.
And this is like, we haven't seen a ton of it since I guess you would say episode 2, where they attack the 88s.
Mm-hmm.
This is another time where you kind of see Winters in his tactical mode,
Yeah.
where he's trying to make maneuvers. He's trying to figure out where everybody's at.
Oh, the
you
hand-
know,
Love the hand gesture. Like,
yes,
yeah.
the hand.
He was all about it. Like,
Tom and I were talking about this at work the other day. Like, how many different hand movements do you think these guys had to memorize?
Ray?
Probably. I mean, probably a lot, but not. I mean, it depends. Depends on what you're really. The guy that's, I don't know how to kind of choke, or not even choke. I don't even know what to say, but I mean, it just kind of depends, I guess. Depends on the person, depends on the unit, depends on what the guys have learned before and what you can kind of combine together.
So it's kind of like
But
real-
everybody should
real
know.
sign language
But
and
everybody
sign
should know
language.
the base.
Like,
But everybody should know the basics.
slang.
And then
sign
you
language.
probably
Like,
you have the basics, and you probably add upon depending on what you're about to do.
Because I mean, I feel like from episode to episode, we see a lot of them communicating with hand movements.
I wouldn't see shit at night. Like, as soon as like Winters was doing it at night and everything, I was like, I couldn't be the one reading that shit. You'd have to it'd be telephone and be like, all right, what am I doing?
Well, I mean, you'll see that later. I mean, that's pretty much what he did when he was like, guy to the left, you get that one. Second guy to the left, you get that one. But yeah, when you're doing the sign language at night, that's usually what you do. You'll go behind the guys, that way nobody can hear you talking, and they're not going to see you visibly because it's night. So you'll have to go down the line in the trenches to tell everybody, go here, go there, wherever,
No, I want an earpiece, Ray.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
Well, today I'm sure they do,
That's
and
what
they
I'm saying.
and they have night vision and stuff. We don't have to worry about seeing things in the dark and stuff like that. But in 1945 or whatever year we're in at this point, that's not the
Right.
case.
Yeah.
But I did like how from there though, pretty much like I said, classic Winters move. So they went from that to then the mortar fire for them to fall back, to then give suppressing fire to the machine gunner to fall back. Which I don't know if anybody else watches Archer here, but I have been saying the phrase suppressing fire all day and just yelling that and throwing shit at people. I don't know if anybody else does that, but yeah, it's fun to do. Just yell it and throw something at somebody.
I mean, I kind of want to do that to the boys when I get home now that you brought it up.
Just yell it, and it'll make your day. Just suppressing fire and take something and throw it at them.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
and it's free.
But I think we get a lot of other interesting things from this. I think the men and us as viewers, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, already viewed Winters as kind of a badass. But when he charged that German line all by himself, like I think it took that to like this new level.
The intro with the old guys that like bring in the episode said it all. Like, dude looked right at the camera like, I don't know how he's alive.
Yeah,
Like just straight up was like, he just ran. Like I don't know. Like, and it's like, yeah, you wouldn't know. You would just like, I guess I gotta follow this motherfucker. Like, it's like you're just behind the guy that's all out there. Like, how we're
Dude,
doing this.
He
Like,
emptied his gun twice before anybody else crested that hill. Twice.
And once again, though, he did
And
it.
everybody
shooting-
missed him.
Yeah.
He was shooting from the hip. Like that's what I love too. Just rifle from the hip, firing off. Just
It was like watching stormtroopers trying to fucking kill a Jedi.
oh yeah, no, god awful. Which yeah, like for everything you hear about German precision at the time, with like two platoons right there in a machine gun nest, you can't hit one guy that's just picking you all off.
Yeah.
Like granted, I think they tried to allude that a lot of these soldiers were very young, like when they actually showed the first guy that he shot.
Right.
But it's like still like everybody here is pretty young. Like they're just young, like But
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too is the Americans came out of this very unscathed, even though they took on a much larger force than they had.
yeah,
I mean-
they said like one casualty and only 20 something wounded.
Yeah, and most of the wounded came with the artillery.
Yeah, which that would suck. But
Yeah, I mean, the artillery did. I mean, like literally, like seconds after Winters, I can't remember the guy's name, sends some guy running down the road,
just
and then
collapsed,
just
yeah.
boom, artillery, and
It just-
there he goes, and you're like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I felt so bad for that guy because he was ready to go do whatever he was told to, too. He hopped right out, went running, just boom, collapsed. Like, fuck.
and then the guy that dies really early. Like it's right there at the beginning, like
Like the
he-
first person to get shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like he stands up to run down the trench
Yeah,
instead of
and
running
then just-
instead of crawling down the trench, and they just shoot him.
Yeah.
And there's no other American casualty after that, and they pretty much they either kill or capture pretty much everybody there. I mean that's pretty. I mean that's got to be a pretty big feather in Winter's cap. Like just hey man, like I went in here and just essentially I just fucked shit up. And yeah, I know Winters beats himself up over casualties, which I'm not saying he shouldn't, but like that's a pretty awesome ratio.
Well, I mean, especially on two different campaigns. I mean, you remember the one where what was it? They were TNTing those arty.
Those 88s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he come out of there with one guy that time.
Well, he didn't even have a casualty that time. Oh, he did. Hall got killed. Hall got
Yeah.
blown up. Yeah, one casualty, and then I think 2 wounded. So yeah.
So I mean, he's coming out pretty good. I mean, as hard as he is on himself, I mean, it is what it is.
That's why he got the promotion.
Yeah.
Like,
And then that's what comes out of this is at the end of this you find out that Moose Heiliger is taking over Easy Company.
yeah, fucking poor Moose. Like, God, that was some bullshit.
Well, I mean, Moose takes over Easy, goes on one mission, one mission to go save those Brits. Does it, comes back and takes a walk with Winters and gets shot like 6 times
Yeah.
by his own man.
Oh,
But here's the question I want to ask everybody, because that was awful and it sucks. I was glad when I heard that Moose lived, which kind of surprised me as many times as they shot him.
yeah.
But
Well, then he hit him like with 3 doses of whatever that shit was and everything because it pissed Doc off.
yeah,
Because then, like, Doc chastised Winters to where it's like, well, we didn't know. It's like, well, you're the fucking adults. You really should and everything. It's like, dude, you're lucky he's a bigger dude and has this much blood for that to happen. Like, and it's
But-
like,
But here's my question for everybody. They're walking side by side, shoulder to shoulder. They shoot Moose 6 times, shoot Winters 0 times. What if that switches? What if they light up Winters?
I mean, I'm sure there's repercussions anyway, but like, you guarantee you're court-martialed. You're
yeah.
in big trouble if you even make it back. Like,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's. Yeah.
Like, what does that do to Easy Company? Like, yeah, you keep Moose, the guy that's only been on one mission, but you lose Winters. Like,
Well, remember, Winters was supposed to go on to another platoon and lead them and all.
no, he wasn't leading a different platoon. He had the entire what is it?
Oh, I know what you're trying to say.
Not a platoon, not a company. It's
Squad.
Battalion?
he had the whole battalion. Yeah,
Battalion.
he had the whole
Battalion.
battalion now. So he was still over Easy, but he was over everybody.
Yeah.
Dog and Fox and Ida and whatever the hell they all are.
It would have been a big fuck you to all of them. Like, that's
yeah.
a bit so worse. Like,
How do they keep getting these twitchy fucking retarded privates keep fucking up their day?
kids, like I said, that's because
Yeah.
they show. Like, I feel like they made it a point to show like pick somebody that looked youthful and everything.
He did look
Like,
very youthful. And earlier in that same episode, Tapper says to Winters when they get a group of new guys, he's like, "I'm pretty sure most of these guys have never shaved."
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're in there to send all the new guys out on patrol and all.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, and then even then one of them comes back shot and whatnot right then and there.
But it just kills me because that private had all the advantages to wait and see
But
and
he
see
did-
some moonlight on it,
Mhm.
and he just
And he didn't allow them to respond. He said
No.
halt, and then Moose started to say who he was, and then just shot him.
Yeah,
Like it was like you didn't even let him say anything. Like they didn't go for a gun. They didn't like point their gun at you or even try and take off running. They just stopped walking and started to talk. Like it was a very jumpy move. I agree, jumpy. And you feel bad for super bad for Moose. I mean, he gets promoted. And literally it seems like maybe they jumped some time, but it seems like the next day he gets shot.
Yeah, it couldn't have been a huge amount of time.
No.
Yeah.
But we did skip over something real quick that I did want to touch on is them going, because the one mission Moose actually does run, is them going to rescue the Brits that have been, I don't know, they're held up somewhere. We have to cross water, but I don't know where they're at exactly. It goes off without a hitch.
Mhm.
Like, there is no issues. Like, they don't even have to fire a shot. They just go over there, get them all, and come back. And it's very, I don't know, it's nerving. Nerving, is that the right word? It's nerve-wracking there for a few minutes. Like, they're all just sitting there exposed on that beach, and you can't see what's coming in and out of the trees. And all of a sudden, here's all the Brits. And so they are all... and then they show you, like, them essentially throwing a party.
Well, I like that interaction just because especially with all them, like you said, with him and Nixon in the room with at the time, I think, because you could see it was Winters having trouble letting go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like he was like, oh, like how many times are you gonna cross the river? And like, oh, at that time, speed's gonna be the big thing. And you could tell like Nixon's kind of trying to be like, hey, like they got it, man. Like do your thing. Like this is his show now. Like you could tell he's trying to like teach him his new role, or even like when he even kind of like makes, because I know I've even made a similar joke like at paperwork at work to where it's like, it's not literature, just make sure it passes. Like,
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, like don't work so hard on it. It's a lot of bullshit anyway. Like it'll be fine. Just make it fileable. That's all.
So then, in very short order, they yet again get a new commanding officer for Easy, which is Lieutenant Dyke. And Dyke is somebody we can talk about pretty freely because he's not one of the 25. And Dyke immediately just comes across like a dipshit. Like, just from the start. He comes across like, I don't know. He doesn't come across completely inept at this point, but he's like almost like he doesn't care. Like, he's very laissez-faire, like very just like in a daze almost.
Yeah. It's a weird attitude for a war zone.
Mm-hmm. And he's never around when they want him. They're always like, "Where's Dyke? Where's Dyke? Where's Dyke?"
Yeah, very aloof. Yeah.
So not a good, I don't know, first impression for Lieutenant Dyke for Easy Company. To be honest with you, like we have praised the crap out of Winters, and he deserves it. And even Nixon and some of the sergeants and the NCOs and stuff that have done a good job. But in reality, Easy has had some really bad luck with some lieutenants. I mean, Sobel.
So, yeah, from start to finish. Like,
And then their next guy, the one that took Sobel's spot, didn't even jump out of the plane. His plane blew up before he jumped out of it.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, they end up with Winters, and then they go from Winters to Heiliger, who looks like they may have another good one,
Right.
and then he gets shot by his own men, and then you get Dyke, who's in total fuck up, and you're like, man, can they just not like go from like Winters to another good guy and like, like it's weird. It's very weird that like an elite fighting group like this had such a hard time getting good officers in charge
That's
of
a
them.
pretty important role too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
most definitely.
So there was something, because I was trying to think about it in my rewatching the previous episodes. Do we see Moose Heiliger do anything like super notable in any of the former
We don't. I don't
episodes?
know that we see him at
No,
all.
like,
okay.
He says they transferred him in from another.
Okay.
I don't know, another something. He wasn't in easy.
All right.
So
Winters says, "Well, that would be my choice," and I'm like,
Yeah, that's why I like it, because but everybody agreed that this was gonna be
Yeah,
the great guy.
yeah.
Like, because Winters even like smiled, was like awesome. Like he was happy with the way it was all gonna go down.
because the guy that replaced Sobel, they brought in from Baker Company because what's his name, the head dude that's always talking to him, the one that says I should have you all shot.
"Is that Sink?"
Sink, yes, Colonel Sink says I'm having so and so brought over from Baker Company. He says it out loud, so I remember that pretty clearly. And of course, Winters just gets promoted from within. I don't know where Dyke comes from. Where Dyke was, and then Spears is later, and Spears is from Dog Company. So like you're kind of pulling them from all over the place. But hey. Then just another thing to throw out there. They get a little break. The soldiers do, and they put on a movie for them, and they're watching a John Wayne movie. It's Seven Sinners.
Got a penny? Got a penny? Got a penny?
Which is funny, but at the same time, this also got brought up on the podcast, and they said that's because the soldiers, like the real soldiers, not the actors, said that they made them watch that movie multiple times while they were over there. So they're like,
one guy said he's seen it almost like what double-digit times or whatever. some
13
shit.
times.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's like, well, I had. Like, well, fuck, I'd be recited too. It's like they're like Duke, or what's his name? Yeah, that Duke was just sitting there, just like all PTSD'd out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where I was like, not even watching it. He's just in his own thing until Winters like snaps him out of it. And is like, oh shit, like,
oh
like,
yeah,
I guess I am in the movie theater. All right.
no, but this is like the
that's
start
it,
of
yeah.
Buck losing it.
Yeah.
Buck is starting to slowly slip here. You definitely see that.
Yeah, it's poor Buck.
So, and then the episode pretty much wraps up with them. The movie gets interrupted, and they're sent out, or loaded up to be sent out. Sorry, and they're being sent into Bastogne. You find out there at the end when Sink says it, and they're being sent in there with hardly any ammo, hardly any food, and no winter clothing.
Yeah.
And to snow-ridden Bastogne. First off, I just want to point this out because I can't help but think about it. I can't imagine digging those deep foxholes in frozen ground.
dirt, yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh man, like the amount of effort that would take, and you're not eating well on top of it. Like, bro.
Yeah. That would fucking
Yeah,
suck.
that'd be robbing the Germans their coke. Like, that's what it'd be like. Hey, this still has to be dug somehow, but like I know it's somewhere around this town. Like no, and I'm not using a shovel. I'm gonna find a pickaxe. Like we're like we gotta do this some other way. Like, cause the first at least like foot is just solid fucking ice. Like it is. You're
Yeah.
not hitting like real soil you can break up until after a foot down.
Yeah.
Like, no, not at all. Like, and then like they were saying, like even I think old boys even said in the beginning of like the next episode, like it was basically you get a bullet in a gun, like is what it was and all. Like it's like this shit was thin.
Yeah.
I'd be doing what Garnier or little Italian
Garnier,
dude.
yeah. No,
I felt bad for Garnier though. Going back when he came back, like I could tell he wanted more out of that Winters interaction than he got. Like when he was in the
Oh,
office
yes.
earlier.
Yes.
Like he came back, he even made like a big thing to where it's like, I mean, obviously, like it was the first time he'd seen him since the promotion type shit, but he was like, "Oh, I just went AWOL from the hospital. I'm here wherever you need me," and all that, and like you can tell he's trying to make small talk even about like sports and shit, and like Winters isn't trying to blow him off, but kind of blew him off. Like,
I think Winters is just so wrapped up in the BS he's dealing with right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because he's just at that level now, but you can see to where like that isn't the interaction that Garnier expected. He expected
Yeah.
it still as like buddying around, like you're still
Mm-hmm.
my like direct in command and all that.
yeah.
But no, I'd be grabbing people that were going the other directions, ammo and shit too. Like,
Oh yeah, and that also came up in the podcast too. That really did happen. They were literally looting the guys going the other direction for all their ammo and their grenades.
like thinking ahead, I would have probably asked for socks as well. Honestly, like
Give me anything,
if
yeah,
I
like
would've been,
anything I can get.
hey,
Socks, coats, like
because oh boy, they didn't have shoes for a while. And, like,
Yeah.
no, like there's no way in hell, like not happening.
well, not only that, but how that's just
Jimmy Fallon in a Jeep,
Yeah.
like just like
yes, no, but like that's completely like just mistreatment of your soldiers, man. Like, hey, we're gonna send you into this remote area in the middle of winter and sub-zero weather, covered in snow, which is all bad enough. But hey, we're not gonna supply you with coats, gloves, stocking caps, nothing. Like none of it.
Or ammunition.
Or yeah, and we're gonna expect you to hold this line with very, very rare ammunition. Like Tom said, they tell us that at one point they were down to one shell per soldier. Like that's insanity.
Yeah.
I guess you could think about it in history, like we've conquered more territory with less before, so like
Yeah.
there's plenty of ways to kill another person. Like we'll get creative here. Like,
Yeah, but
Not
we-
when they have bullets, though.
that is, lure them deeper into the woods. I don't know what to tell you. Like just like
And then we got the luxury of sending some officers to Paris for a couple days. That,
Mm-hmm.
be cool. We go back to society.
yeah, you got to fundraise.
That was, I thought, a good sequence, though. When they sent Winters to Paris, like you kind of saw him working through some of the stuff he had experienced. It
Yeah.
was really well done. Like that.
Yeah.
Well, before we tear too much into any of these characters, let's wrap up the actual talking about the episode. Then we'll talk about the characters in a minute. 'Cause we've spent a decent amount of time talking about Winters here, and he's a big part of that
True.
section of the
Which is
show.
episode basically. Like,
Yeah. But just for my interesting facts, while we get ready to talk about characters, Tom Hanks, who I said also directed this episode. I don't know if anybody caught it. He also made a cameo in this episode.
Oh no, I did
I
not.
did not
He's
catch it.
he's one of the Red Devils.
oh, okay.
Yeah. He's they don't show him like on the beach, but he's one when they're celebrating with the
That's-
beers and
yeah,
stuff.
that's what I was
He's
just
one of
thinking.
them in that
Okay.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we talked about it quite a bit. Winters coming up over the ridge and shooting his gun. That is the last time Winters shoots his gun for the rest of the war.
That's a great way to go out though. Like if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna
Really?
Yep.
if you're gonna rest your hat on any type of like this was my last battle type thing, like yeah, I was at the top of the hill shooting side hip, just crowd after crowd,
yeah.
and like bullets flying, like how much like that's a badass American action movie, like bullets all around you and you're just like it really is, like go Winners.
So let's just go ahead and pull up our bulletin board there, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know if it's right, but it's there.
Well, Winters is the easiest one to talk about here. Like Tom said, this is pretty much his episode. And
There's a lot of Winters and Nixon.
Winters, I mean, the general principle with Winters here is he's behind on his paperwork. He's struggling to adjust. He gets another promotion, and he has to give up easy, which again is something he is adjusting to and struggling with. And that's really the heavily portrayed thing that Hanks does in this episode. And I think he does a really good job of it with the typewriter to the war scenes, to the typewriter to the war scenes.
Yeah. Like I said,
The
I like
field
this.
typewriter.
Yeah.
Mhm. Not only that, but I think they really drive it home in Paris
Yeah.
because he's clearly not enjoying himself. He's clearly struggling with killing that kid
Yeah.
because he turns that kid on the train into
Oh, like you
that
said, he
soldier.
had his own Duke moment or whatever. Like on the show, like, hey, like the bus has stopped. It's the end of the route, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, you still there? Like,
But Winters said, the real Winters said that he did not enjoy his trip to Paris. Like they really did that to him. He did not enjoy it. He's like, because everybody that was there was drinking and partying and stuff, and he didn't participate in those things. So he's like,
no, yeah, like,
he's like, I didn't want to sit outside and drink coffee and eat bread. He's like, it's just not who I am. He's like, so the only thing I really
French,
enjoyed was that I got to take a proper bath. He's like, I liked that.
Yeah.
yeah, hot
So,
water,
Yeah.
piss in a toilet, blood be able to flush. Like, yeah, like you said, there'd be modern amenities. Yeah, but I could see it.
Yeah.
But I think they do a fantastic job in this episode of showing his struggles. Like you said, the conversation between him and Moose about pretty much he's kind of belittling Moose a little bit. Like I don't think that's not his intention, mind
Yeah.
you, but he's pretty
No,
much being like, "Are you sure you're doing things
it's
right?"
Like micromanaging stuff.
Yes,
to where it's like,
micromanaging.
I know you're in charge, but if I was in charge, I would do X, Y, and Z. Or have you thought about X, Y, and yeah, that's why I said that's where Nixon kind of has to step in and be like, hey, like you're not managing very well at the moment. That's pretty much what Nixon was, just trying to help him. Like, hey, this is how you be a bureaucrat. Like, you're a good soldier, but now let's teach you how to play a different game. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the only time you see Winter struggle where it's like he just doesn't have the skill set
Yeah.
for this new job.
but
Mhm.
I've heard that phenomenon where like it's almost like you get promoted out of what you're good at.
Right.
Yeah.
To where you just become like a trainer of the thing that you love to do in the first place. Like, which is sad. Like you said, you're just like basically looking at other people do something like you wish you could do but get paid the same type deal.
Yeah.
Like that's the shitty thing.
But that's just life. That's just how it goes.
It's dirty, Ray.
You,
It's
you
a
get
dirty
good,
trick.
you go up,
Yeah.
and you go and you don't look back.
So, go ahead.
They say you go up until a point where you're no longer good at your job, and then you don't get promoted anymore.
Yeah.
So you get promoted until you suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've mentioned Nixon here a few times. Nixon is also pretty heavily involved in this episode. But a lot of it is just like Tom said, him talking to Winters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they show you other things like that he's still keeping booze in his footlocker. But that being said, he also tells you that he's been promoted again.
Mm-hmm.
Nixon has also been promoted another time. He's now a captain. So Nixon has some things going for him. And like we said, he got piss thrown on him at the very beginning of the episode. So, you know, he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that's happened to him in the war so far.
Oh, most definitely. By the way, we said that was the last time Winters fired his gun. Have we ever seen Nixon fire a gun?
I don't think so. No.
This is, I think, the closest I've seen him to actual combat because he was there. Like you see him talking to people. I don't see him fire.
He
a
got
gun.
hit in the helmet by that one round.
That's true. Yeah.
He did. It was
yeah.
at Market Garden. He gets shot in the head.
You can't get any
Yeah.
closer than
Fair
action
enough,
than that.
yeah.
Like, he got shot in the head. Like,
I mean, he was there when like the artillery rounds were falling.
But you gotta fire back, Tom.
hey, I'm just,
I don't see
I'm
him
just
fire a
saying,
bullet.
Nixon has been shot in the head and he is still alive. Like,
It's the booze, man. It keeps you going.
Nixon's kind of in his element in this episode.
Yeah.
Like this is like peak Nixon, really. Like he knows what he knows what he's doing. He's trying to impart wisdom to Winters about how to play this game. He's still drinking. But he's not, full out drunk. Can't handle my business. Then you've got a guy like Mo. We've mentioned him, but not by name. Mo is the one that is wounded. They like rush him into that barn because he's been wounded. That's when they go attack the machine gun nest. Mo is the one that's been shot or hit. I think he's hit with a grenade.
Okay.
That's Mo.
Which one?
I do believe he's the one with like the scarf looking thing, like second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth one over.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Webster, who was also wounded in the leg. He's the one that says, "They got me! They got me!"
I can't believe I said they got me. Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Like, can you believe I said it? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's the other Harvard grad, so I'm sure he's like attacking
Because that was
like his
that was
verbiage.
yeah, because that was after the mortaring and old boy collapsed on the road. And it was like, they got me. Like it's like fucking hell. Like
Um, Doc is probably his first big, real big speaking role is in this episode. Is where like Tom, I think Tom mentioned earlier, where he yells at Winters and
ass
Walsh,
chewing,
like really chews them out. And they talk about that on the podcast of in a medical situation, it doesn't matter your rank, he's in charge of that situation. So like even if it was like Sink standing there, he could have yelled and screamed at him. Like, no, this is my situation. I get to handle it.
Like
Yeah.
Hippocratic oath supersedes all. Like, we'll go that route. Like,
and he does kind of give him the business. Like, you are officers. You are the adults. You should know.
he was,
And to be honest with you, they've been in enough battles and dealt with enough wounded men. He's probably right.
should,
They probably should know what to do with wounded soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, by the way, we see plenty of guys get wounded in this show and get stuck with one syringe and then relax. Are you telling me they stuck him with 3 before he relaxed? Like,
yeah.
That's.
I mean, that's why he got mad about you gonna kill this guy or what?
that's where it makes me feel like because of who he was, like they were really trying to make him comfortable and all.
Yeah.
Like that's like they were, like I said, it's like, hey, you don't realize what morphine is actually doing to the body here, like.
Right.
And you just gave him a triple dose. Like you're lucky this man is as big as he is. Fuck. Like it's like. It's like this guy, like basically, is just gonna OD on heroin right now in front of us. Like it's basically it. Like,
to be honest with you, I hate to say this because he's one of my really top tier favorite characters, but I forgot Garnier was wounded. I just thought maybe he wasn't in this episode until he showed up and said, "Oh, I had to go AWOL from the hospital to get back here." I forgot he got wounded.
Do we see him get wounded?
Where does he get wounded?
Well, Winters tells him no more joyriding, so I assumed that was something that happened off camera.
Maybe it was something that happened
I
off
don't know.
camera then. Yeah,
I know he's got a little limp to him and all that.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, he's definitely limping.
yeah.
And he's not the first guy to go AWOL from the hospital to join back up. Popeye did it, and I think somebody else has done it too.
Didn't Duke do it? Duke got shot in the ass.
Bull.
Bull.
Yeah, Bull did. Yeah, I don't know if he went AWOL, but he's definitely been to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Smokey's been to the hospital 3 different times now. Yes. But then we also have Buck, and
That's it, Buck.
Buck is the one that's really starting to slip. And so he's really the first one we see starting to slip mentally. And we have no idea why yet. You'll find out later. But at this point, you're just noticing, like, he's not the same. And,
Like, just staring.
Yeah, just kind of, for this point, assume it was his injury. Maybe,
yeah, I think that's what you have to assume at this point. Yeah, for sure. But those are the characters that really stick out in this episode. A lot of characters appear in this episode, but not a lot of them have speaking lines. Not a lot of them have like big things going on with them. Those are like the main characters that, like I said, this episode is really about Winters and Nixon. They're like the 2 big characters here. And then you see
like a really short episode too. I didn't see what the runtime of it was, but honestly, it seemed like it was over.
It was around like 50 minutes.
Was
I
it? It
think.
did not seem like it to me. Like it honestly, like I really thought only like 40 minutes had went by or so.
You had 20 minutes of battle.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like I was like so amped up for it. I was like, I didn't even know it was 20 minutes. Like to me, I was like,
Exactly.
shit, now it's over. Like
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is like I got so much of that I was like, oh shit, like it's over. Like
But so it was a little shorter of a list of guys to talk about, but the list is a little bit longer next week. The full gang starts to be around a lot here for the next few episodes, and we'll have a lot more bigger things to talk about coming up with some of these guys. But I think that's all I got for characters, guys. Anybody have anything to add before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so.
Not for me.
No, I just like I said, I pretty much said my piece on it. Like I said, Ray said earlier that it really sets up with the next one of Bastogne and all that, and like the battle, and that's like I like this next episode coming up. It grew on me.
Absolutely. It's a good episode. So, speaking of the next episode, we appreciate you tuning in for this Crossroads episode, and we would appreciate you tuning in next week for Bastogne. And that's the name of the episode. That's the name of the episode.
Bastogne, yeah.
Yeah, Bastogne, episode 6 of Band of Brothers. And thanks for tuning in to Blockbuster Bums.